Good morning, guys. David A Piano Shop. Yesterday, we put a post about key leveling, and our friend behind the piano asked us a very good question. The question was if there is a process to compress the new fields, before we go and install them into the balance rail and proceed with the key leveling. The reason he asked us this is because when you put new felts into the piano, into especially on the balance rail, the felts will compress as you go along the process of regulation and many tunings. And, no, and in order to have minimal changes of this, he wants to know if we can compress the felts first in order to help that. So I'm gonna show you the three methods that I know, and if you can use them, that will be great. If you have any more questions, guys, let me know, and let's start the test. So this is the overall close measurement to this felt. With this method you have to be careful, because if you do it hard enough, this is what happens. You can't get the first very compressed. As you can see, I did very hard knocks, but I was able to get around 15 thousandths of an inch on this one, guys. But again, like I said, let's see what happens if I just do all of them the same, or pretty much the same. The goal is to get consistent as possible so that everything comes out as close as possible. That's 51 thousandths. This is 47 thousandths. That's 20 thousandths different right there. And that's 10,000 difference. And that's around 16,000 difference. And that's what I was talking about, guys, for not being inconsistent. In order for this method to work, you will want it to be as consistent as possible with all the felts, so that everything is within 5 thousandths of an inch if possible. So that's method number one on this felt. For method number two, guys, I went and soaked these felts into water. The reason is because this is the ironing method. The iron method involves the iron of the felts in order to get them compressed. However, there are risks to this too. And again, we'll make the iron heat up first. You can see these are dripping wet. And we'll see what's gonna happen. Now these are the thick felts that we measure at around 113 thousandths of an inch. This is before it was dry. So let's see what happened after it was expand. So this is after it was wet. You can see it expand by itself just by getting wet for around 16 thousandths. This is a little different already, and again a little different already. So we'll see. Looks like the iron is ready, and we're going to start with the first one at 115 thousandths. And the method for this, guys, is just really iron the felt. Make sure you get the water out. You hear that sizzling? It's gone. That means it's done. Now you turn it around and do the other side. Now I'm really applying some type of pressure here, right? You gotta be careful. This becomes really hot. No, remember that this measured 15 thousandths. Let's see how much we were able to get. That's not bad at all. That was 16 thousandths just by ironing it, guys. Now you do have to let it dry and see what happens. Now we're gonna get our second felt. This one is at 107 thousandths. We're gonna do the same. We're gonna iron it. You hear that sizzling? Good. Now you get it. Ooh. And turn it around, and we'll do the same. Good. So this was 107 thousandths, and it is now a 84 thousandths just by iron it. And we're gonna do the last one. This one was the thickest of all. Let's see how much it is. This was 120,000. Let's see how much we're able to get it down to. One side is done. Second side is done. You can see the felt here. So this was around 120,000, and we were able to get it around 15 thousandths of an inch. So, but however, still they are not dry, and when they dry, you will have to measure them again to see what are the real changes. All right. So this is the second method, the iron method. You now a third and final method for this. So guys, I'm gonna show you the third and final method that I know, and this is compression by compression. We're gonna use a vice grip. Our felts measure around 87 thousandths of an inch. Let me just show you right here. 87, 88, so they vary around 1 thousandths these felts. So the thing you wanna do is you wanna use the vice grip, pour them right in there. Make sure right in there. You just compress them, compress them, compress them. Actually, it will be a good thing to do the 3 of them at the same time. So let me just go back on there and do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and let's do this, guys. And for this method, you really don't have to leave them there long. All you have to do is make sure they are tight. The vice will do the job itself. You can see it's very tight. I'm actually hitting it to make it loose. And now we have some compressed felts right in there, guys. And we're gonna measure right up. Now remember that the felts that are compressed, either method, are gonna still swallow up just because their resilience on their felt, just because the fiber, even after they compress, they tend to just swallow a little bit more, right? So we say they were at 87 thousandths, around 87 thousandths, and now they are 72 thousandths. Let's just measure the accuracy of them. 72, 76, and 71. Again, this method is really good. It's really even. It just requires that you go and do all 88 felts of them, guys. So guys, now I show you the 3 methods that I know: the hammering method, the iron method, and the compression by compression on the vice method, guys. If I was going to select one of these methods, I'll probably use the vice method. The reason is because, as you can see on the hammering method, I'm not happy about really damaging the fibers of the punching felt just by hammering it, because you can actually see how it kind of spreads, and it's just, there's some damage going on in there. So guys, on the second method, the iron method, I was not happy also first of the results, because the results vary between 15 and 23 thousandths of an inch. That is a difference of 8 thousandths of an inch, and I was trying to be as precise as possible as far as how much pressure you put into the iron. So you can see that you do get the felts compressed. However, they're not consistency, and consistency is one of the big things here. On the third method, the compression by compression method, that's where we got the better results. The results were overall between 11 thousandths of an inch compression to 16 thousandths of an inch. That's a difference of around 5 thousandths of an inch between the 3 felts. That was the best out of the 3 methods. So feel free to go and try your own. Remember that you have to do the same thing with 88. You have to take the time to actually go and either compress, iron or hammer 88 of them, and the goal is to have them as consistent as possible in measurement, so that when you do the key level, also your paper punches are as consistent as possible, guys. Very happy to show you this. Thank you behind the piano for posting the question. And if you can use this method, guys, feel free to use them, to try them. Like I say, I do not use none of them. The reason is because I believe on the settling of the felts as I am leveling and regulating the actions. For when we're doing a full restoration of the action, it goes to the same process many, many times. And at the end of the regulation, at the end of the whole restoration, when it comes down to fine regulation, the felts are really compressed. If you're actually meaningful into working the felts in, because this is something that you have to have in your head as you're regulating, as you're going through the process of the pitch raise, on the tuning, on the many tunings. So I like that process better. I like to just put new felts right in. Doesn't matter if they are, swallow, or they're, or they're not compressed. By the end, when I finish the regulation, when I finish the action restoration, I know for a fact, because I've been paying attention to this for so many years, and I know for a fact that I worked in the felts of the action, of the felts of the balance rail punches, guys. So go ahead. I guess we have four methods. We have the method of the ironing, the method of the hammering, the method of the compression by compression on the bias, and also the method of being mindful of it as you regulate it, guys. And I find that to be most efficient for me, and also in general, I like the results, and I don't have to invest the time in, in trying to, how do you call this, trying to help things. I believe on the nature of things, especially with pianos, that everything, if you're mindful of all the aspects of the restoration, everything will fall into place as you go along. But you do have to be mindful of all the different steps that involve, and all the different steps that will make the felt change. In this case, we're talking about tuning, we're talking about key leveling, we're talking about regulation, guys. So I hope you have a great day. I hope you find this useful for technicians out there. If you have more questions, let me know. Check the post, whatever comes to your mind. I would love to help answer those questions, guys. Have a great day. A Piano Shop.